What's up, everybody? Good morning. Hey, Falcon. What's up, man? Appreciate everybody clicking on the video yesterday, if you did. If not, I released a new video talking about Gunslinger, development behind it, did a few examples, so go check it out if you haven't. Share the video, helps me out. Okay, let me get this set up. So today, if you guys don't know what nuclear is, it's an immediate mode GUI library that's in ANSI C. It's fairly popular. It's kind of, if you're familiar with IMGUI or DRM GUI, whatever you want to call it, similar to that. Has a lot of the same similar functionality. It's just written in pure ANSI C, so C89, which makes it perfect for a Gunslinger example. So what I'm doing is looking at all of the demos that he has in here. I think he has different demos for various backends. So if you have OpenGL, D11, D12, I think he's a Vulkan one, maybe not. And all I'm doing is just porting over the OpenGL 3 with GLFW example and porting that over to Gunslinger to use the Gunslinger backend. Just make sure it all works with that. So I've already started the process of doing that. Go ahead and get rid of this. So what we have is big honkin' NK context, which holds pretty much all the information that we need for the Nuclear Gui context. So it'll include all the NK specific stuff, like it has an NK buffer for commands because it works similar to how my graphics subsystem works, which is that it buffers up commands and then it rips through all that. We have vertex data, index data, information about platform layers, so mouse, key, stuff like that. What else? Window information, so we hold on to the window handle. Then we have width and height, then we have the frame buffer information as well. And then some Gunslinger specific stuff, so resource handles for all the stuff that we'll need in order to do any of the rendering for this. So we have a pipeline, we have VBO and IBO, our shader, our font texture, and then we have a uniform for the texture, and then a uniform for our excuse me, for our projection matrix. And if you look at the example, it's pretty much going exactly like what the GLFW example does for nuclear. So we have a init, rendered, uploading all of our Atlas data, creating the device, so registering stuff with Gunslinger basically. Hey Nindy, good morning. Down here in the initialization, so we're creating our shader, initializing our command buffer for nuclear, creating our shader, our handles, to the uniform buffers, the vertex buffer, the index buffer. It's pretty much all of our pipeline state that we need. Setting this all up. And then here's more initialization stuff. This is uploading our atlas. So this is creating the font atlas for us. And then new frame, this is basically the begin function. So in the main update function for the application, before you want to do any rendering, you have to call new frame. It basically clears out any of the previous information that it had. So we're doing that here, and then we're caching in for the window handle that we've given the context for Nuklear. We're grabbing information from the Gunslinger platform layer to get the window size and the frame buffer size, and then we're setting all this up. We cache input key state. Again, we're using the platform layer from Gunslinger to get all that stuff. Get the mouse position, platform layer stuff as well. Mouse buttons, again, same thing. And then here's the render. So for this, we're going to pass in the Nuklear context in our command buffer. This is where we're actually going to buffer up commands for the Gunslinger graphics backend. And for this, we set up our graphics binds. So we need the vertex buffer, the index buffer, and then our projection data for the projection uniform. And basically, if you look through here, you can see where I have stuff commented out. And that's because of the glfw OpenGL example for Nuklear. Sorry, I got a comment there. He's using OpenGL directly, right? And so in Gunslinger, kind of don't want to do that. We want to use the graphics backend if possible, because we should be able to use any of the graphics backends, right? So if you've written direct, like a DirectX backend, if you've written a Vulkan backend, a Raspberry Pi using OpenGLES, stuff like that, you should be able to do that. Hey, Girome. What's up? And then for this, all you're doing is we need to, so Nuklear has this, I'm learning more about the library. I've used it a little bit, but not enough to be super familiar with it. So a lot of this is going to be research in this stream. But what he does in this example is he binds the VBO and the EBO, rebuffers the data so that it'll reallocate how much he needs. And then he maps the buffers. So he gets a void pointer. This is a function that's actually in OpenGL to where you can have the GPU give you a pointer to the actual memory that's sitting in VRAM, and you can manipulate it on the CPU, and then it, as long as you have this declaration open, GL map buffer, and you wrap it in between an unmap buffer, anything that you do into this will get pushed over to the data on the GPU. It's kind of interesting. It's not the fastest, but it is, relatively quick. So that's what he's doing here. I don't allow that in Gunslinger, at least not yet. So what we do instead is hold on to our own pointer. So this is this temp vertex data and temp index data, and then we're going to push stuff into that. And he does that down here. So we have this init fixed function. So we pass in a double pointer to the vbuff, and or not a double pointer. This is just nk memory. Look at that. Where is it? Yeah, it's this. So it holds, nk memory holds a pointer to an object and then the size of that particular object. And then the buffer, which is what these buffers are, has an nk memory buffer, and all this other stuff that he has inside of here, that I'm not going to worry about because I don't need to. Basically, all this does is it takes this buffer object and it just points the pointer to this vertices object. Same thing with this, points it to here. And then the reason he's doing that is so that he can do this nk convert command, which goes through the context and all the commands that are buffered up inside of the command buffer, and it manipulates this data directly using the configuration that's made up here. It's a lot of information. Basically, all I'm saying is he sets up a declaration for what this stuff needs to look like in terms of data formats. It's interesting, it's just a float. It's not like a float 2. But he sets up the format for like vertex data, then he sets up all this configuration stuff, and given all the raw data that's inside of the buffer when he was collecting commands in the NK backend, he'll do this convert command that converts it into like sizable vertices that you can pass up to the GPU. It's the best that I can gather. Actually, if I look at Nuklear, NK convert. Am I in the right file? No, I'm not. This one. So this is the full header only. There we go. So here's the NK convert. So what does he do? Setting up a draw list. Iterates through the commands. So where does he actually use the vertex data? It's probably here, this draw list setup. That's all it does. So I think this is what he does in order to just push back commands. Actually, to set up a draw list, yeah, because he's going through commands and he's setting up a raw draw list. This is actually what I need to do for my immediate mode drawing utility. I like the way he does this a lot better. Okay. And if I look at the raw source from this other example, that's not it. It's GLE3, this guy. Passes it to here, but I believe these are just, all right. Yep, okay. So then he does all the conversion here, and then I have to stream in the data here, but I think there's, I don't think it's streaming it correctly. Yeah. So the issue I'm running into now, or period, is that it's all working fine, and my matrix data is fine, everything's getting set up fine, but we're not rendering anything. And part of me thinks that this might be garbage. There might not actually be anything in here. So I'm trying to look and see what do these actually do. Like this NK convert, I imagine it fills this with buffer data. So if we go into here, look at the draw list setup. What does this do? buffer of vertices and elements. It just sets all that up. Great. NK convert. Where do we do context draw list? Well, I guess it sets into the draw list, so I guess the draw list, let me look at that again. Okay, draw list setup called the canvas. So the canvas element pointer is this. So then if we go to NK convert, do the draw list setup, user data, I'm not using that. Draw list, add clip. So what does that do? Draw list push command. Where you pass in the list. What's up, Chris? Hey, King Champ. Push user data. I don't care about that. Or does it actually push shit into the vertices? I ain't seeing it. Draw list, poly, convex. Points, vertex equals alloc vertices. What's your favorite meme? GameStop stonks. It's my favorite meme. Vertices, memory pointer plus. Yeah, I mean here I guess he's writing in. So IDs, that's index, draw index, vertex inner index. Draw index. So right here, let's see what this does. NK draw list alloc. So I think that just returns a pointer to draw list, buffer alloc list vertices, which I imagine returns back the same pointer. It's fine. That's good. Good sign. What type of work do you do on your job? Engine development and meetings. Just meetings. Oh man. Well. Why are you still on Win 7? I don't like Windows 10 and I'm not moving. Make me. If I decide to move, I'll probably go to just a Linux distro. But Windows 7 was the best. How are those meetings? You know how those meetings are. So this sets up my memory. That should be setting up my memory fine. So what the fuck? Let's just verify that I'm actually setting up pipeline stuff correctly. I think it's just triangle. Let's see. I really think it's just vertex data stuff. Maybe simple texture. Let's do that instead. So I have a quad. That way I can have DirectX doesn't work on Linux, right? Yeah, correct. But that's why OpenGL is the default backend. Nope. Yep. All right, so let's do this. Just want to verify that this stuff is working correctly. I think I need a color as well, so we'll just do a color. Actually, let me do. Oh, there it is. Okay. So let's make a vertex data struct, and I'll just call this vdata. I'm gonna take a nap. See ya. All right, man. Have a good nap. Do 4 verts. So it's gonna be plus, minus, plus. Minus, minus, plus, plus, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. You can go take a nap too, Chris. And then here's the iData. We're going to do that as U32. And then for this, let's change this. So the data is the vdata. And then the iData. Actually, I just want to see. No. Gotta watch stonks. Hell yes. Yeah, let me know if any. Let me know what AMC does. I do want to know that. We were joking about it, but get in on that. Okay, so bind bindings, NK for each command through command. I'm just gonna do this. So, do you ever use OpenCL? No, not really. If I need compute power, I'll just use a compute shader. I'm not mining Bitcoins or anything, so. So we'll do 0, our count will be 6. Okay. So let's see if I get something on the freaking screen. I don't. Okay, so that's good. That means something else is fucked up. So let's find out what it is. Because this should be fine. I should see this. Position UV color. Position UV color. I don't care about this. Whatever. Holy shit. Yeah, after this I'm gonna look at AMC. It might be this. No. And I don't do that in graphics API. No, I just grab it here directly. I don't manipulate it like a moron. Okay. Well, okay, so something else is going on. Something else is wrong. Because I should be seeing at least a quad in the center of the screen. If I've set this up correctly. So projection matrix, position, text chord, and color. So again, vec 2, and vec 4. This vec 4 is actually a byte 4, but it's normalized when it goes in. Let me check my uniforms and make sure that these are set up correctly. Actually, I might, well. So again, yep. That's fine. Nuclear Gui. And again, projection matrix, just up here. Texture. It's a mat 4. Uniform sampler. It looks all looks fine. This looks valid. And in fact, I can verify this because if I change this name to something like Stonks, I should get a warning that I'm not finding that uniform. So we ain't got no Stonks. So that means this one is being found, so it is being bound correctly. So that's an easy way to verify that. The reason we don't have the texture shown. Is it really? It's up 25%. Should I jump on that too? Yeah, but Fossil's not being shorted by some hedge fund. Fossil's just shorting because it's Fossil. Gregor, what am I doing? I am writing a nuclear UI example. So if you're not familiar with nuclear UI, it's an ANSI-C header-only GUI, immediate GUI library. So some people have asked for some GUI stuff. So I'm going to write one for nuclear, and I'm going to write one for IMGUI as well. Going to show that off, how to do that with Gunslinger. That way people have those examples if they want to use them. I would like something like that. Instead of having to write my own immediate GUI, this would be a lot easier. So I'm just going to port over these to be able to use them. Linked Yahoo to the stock. Trolls are all over the place. Yeah, I love it though. It's amazing. Okay, why are you so smart? I don't know. I do a lot of crack. I'll tell you why I'm so smart, Gregor. It's because I went and I invested heavily in fossil stocks. So go do that right now. Invest all your money into fossil. Hey, so far I've used Raylib for my projects. I'm intrigued to use Gunslinger. Cool. What would I be missing? What would you be missing? What are you missing from Raylib? Well, what does Raylib have? Let's look at it real quick. I can tell you what it has and what I don't have. Okay. You can do this basic shape stuff with the immediate mode stuff, yeah. 3D stuff, yes, yes, yes. Text with immediate mode. Yep, yep. Custom shaders, yeah, of course. The only thing I don't have is model loading and animations. Right, that's included in like a utility. So I am going to add as a higher level utility. I don't know how familiar you are with the framework, but it has it's a core framework, and then it has utilities that sit on top. It's very similar to Sokal, if you know the Sokal libraries. In fact, it takes that idea from Sokal. It's such a good library. So I'm going to add in something for GLTF loading. I'll probably add that in the core, actually, being able to load like GLTF stuff. But, and it doesn't have anything physics related by default other than basic math structures. So AABBs are in there, planes are in there, arrays are in there. The framework itself is very hands-on, the core of it anyway. It doesn't like, it expects you to like, this is very different from Raylib. Raylib is, it abstracts a lot away from you because it's meant as a beginner library, right? Gunslinger is not a beginner library. Gunslinger is, at its core, very, very small abstraction above writing a platform layer yourself, the audio layer yourself, and then a graphics layer yourself. That's it. That's all it does at the core level. And then sitting on top of that, if we go to the actual library, sitting on top of that are utilities that I'll be adding into it to do more hands-off stuff that the framework will do for you. So immediate mode drawing stuff, right? So if we go into an immediate mode example, I'll show you what that looks like. I had this example up in the video, if you watched that, the last one. Thanks, Eugenio, appreciate it. So this is the immediate mode stuff. And this isn't even all of it, actually. It's just all I could fit on the screen. But, you know, you could do stuff like this, which, you know, Raylib supports. I also have Bezier curves and stuff like that in here, which I'm not showing. Some people have already made games with it. I planned on doing like a code review to show what people have made, to let people see more actual examples of games and stuff like that done. Jesus, almost 40%? What is that? Fossils? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to buy more. Never thought I'd buy something rising, but now that I know what's going on. C99 is classy. You are right. Okay. But yeah, so you're not really missing anything from going between. I mean, it depends on how much you want to do yourself. All the core stuff is there that Raylib has, right? Any of the game-specific stuff that sits on top, like specific model loading stuff, defining your models, defining your own pipeline, stuff like that, you're going to have to do that yourself. Unless you use like the immediate mode. But I think I'll get more examples out that kind of show people what to do, how to use it. Because there's a lot here, but a lot of it's not documented. So it's difficult to know what to do and how to do it. That's why I have the example library up, where I'm actually going through and adding examples, trying to do more and more of these so that you can see how to do stuff. And right now I'm adding the nuclear example. So if you wanted to have, a decent GUI library in, your application, then you could use something like this. And I'll add an IMGUI example as well if you wanted to do something in C++. Okay, so all this is working. Yeah, of course. Thanks for checking it out and being interested. That's very motivating. I appreciate it. But that's the purpose. I'd like this to be like Raylib, but have more explicit control. There's a guy in the Raylib Discord right now who's been working on making a version of Raylib that has more explicit control. It's just been taking him a while, and I'm not even sure how far he's gotten. And I think he's running into issues, from what I've seen, being able to go back and forth between stuff. So, maybe I can fill that niche. Just fill it. Just being goofy. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on here. All right, let's do some actual development and step through some stuff. This is good. Again, we are still black screened. So let's open her up. Fossil stonks, man. Let's see what I'm missing, Sean. Oh shit, someone actually is on Yahoo talking about Fossil. I thought you were joking. Wow. Yeah, but does that make sense? That didn't make sense, right? Like, Fossil's tanking because it's a shit company. It's not because... Alright. I don't think I am loading anything. So let's open this up. Nuclear source. I want the main function. You guys can't see this. Okay, let's go into the initialization and step through. This is the only time I open up Visual Studio, by the way. So here's our init function. Good. The window handle should be 0. It's the default. NK default. So we're setting all of our context stuff up. That looks fine. Yup. Okay, no user data. Don't need it. NK device create. So we're knit the command buffer. Let's see. Hey John, I'm new to OpenGL. I don't know where to start to make a basic engine. It's all overwhelming. Yeah, it's very overwhelming. It's a very steep climb. What would you suggest? What would I suggest for... See, basic open... No, you're new to OpenGL. Okay, so learn opengl.com. I would go there. And then for engine development, it's kind of spotty. I think there's very few people that actually do decent engine development stuff. A lot of it's crap, honestly. But maybe here. Go to Making Games with Ben. That's a decent YouTube series. He has a 2D game engine, kind of get you started, get you familiar with at least some kind of direction. It's not a production level engine by any means, but it's a good starter. Okay, so one sampler. Okie dokie. EBO, that looks good. IBO, that looks good. Yeah, it is a good resource. I'm sure that guy's make a good amount of money off of the ad revenue from that site. It's a good idea. My stride's fine. The raster, all the blend stuff looks fine. And then by default, I don't have depth or stencil or any of that enabled, so I'm not worried about that. Pipeline's fine. Vertex data is fine. Index data, these are good. The atlas is fine. Yeah, man, I'll keep them coming for sure. Atlas begin, it's good, whatever. And then here is where we actually create the image, the width and the height, RGB 832 bits, create the texture, 512, 128, the data looks good, good, RGB 8. Well. So this should be like 1, yeah. Also, why is it, oh, it's 1 because the 0 is an empty handle, that's right. That's right. So then we make our texture handle with an ID of 1 to pass that back to Nuclear. Right. Yes. If Atlas default font, which this is the default font, and we do that. Okay, cool. That looks good. That looks good. All right, so good. Platform stuff. Now we come into our update function for the app. Here we are. Grab our context. Set a new frame. What does new frame do? We should be grabbing the window size and the height. We do. Frame buffer size, height. We do. And our scale is a 1:1. Okay. NK begin. Yeah, which just resets all of our keys and everything. Let's get out of this. And we're just setting all this stuff up. And we do a window. I should have a window. Man. Actually, that's not correct. That isn't correct, actually. Those should be different because they're held in the same buffer region. I believe they are. Let me look at the graphics. Graphics implementation, buffer create. So if we create a vertex buffer. Oh no, I hold vertex buffers into their own thing. Same thing with the index buffers. Okay, I do that. Frame buffers are their own thing. Uniforms are their own thing. Okay. Okie dokie. That's fine then. Net fixed. Just zeroes out the memory. I'm sure this is all very exciting to watch, but switch through, and now we're just filling our commands. I mean, and again, this is, yeah, add text. What does this do? It's defining struct, okay. We're actually in the add text. It should have the font. What does the font have? It should have that texture, which has the ID handle of 1. That's correct, because we're on the default. All right, step out of this. Correct filled. So again, all the stuff's getting filled correctly. That all looks fine. Negative, negative, positive, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. Yup. And the iData, it's good. So we do the index buffer, it's a vertex buffer, stream usage, vdata, size of vdata. So I do the, yes, index buffer with iData. Okay. Do the render pass. So we pass in a render pass, we bind our pipeline, set the viewport, we bind all of our bindings, so that's vertex buffer, index buffer, and then our projection matrix uniform. And then for each of the commands, we're just going to go through, but let me get rid of that, because this view scissor might actually be messing with it. I don't think it is, but okay. End render pass. That's good. Let me go to main actually. And we'll do the, okay, render. We'll just do the final submit. Just look at that. Okay, so command buffer submitting. We're gonna grab our OGL data, go to the beginning of our command buffer, and we're gonna rip through commands. So we should, buffer request update, should be 1. The type is a vertex buffer. Read command, usage. Just a stream. And it's 80 bytes. That's interesting. 80. Why would it be 80? Oh, that's right, because I just passed in the size. Yep. Okay. It's fine. It's good. Bind the buffer, array buffer, because it is a vertex buffer. U8 commands data to the position. It's good. We advance. The next one should be buffer update for an index buffer. Again, stream. Oh. Huh. Beautiful. Okay, so let's do this. Gorgeous. So hopefully that was it. Index buffer, buffer create, array buffer. So let's do this. So the buffer update, do the index buffer. Grab this from our index buffers, edit the ID, and we're going to do the same thing. So element array buffer should be the size, which is here. Actually, let's just change this. Okay, see what that does. Shit. All right, still nothing. Let's go back and look at it again. Let's go to the top of this. Why? Why not? That doesn't make sense. Jesus. Okay. So job code, it's a buffer update. That one should be vertex. That one's index. Oh. That's interesting. Why are there two index buffers? Oh, it's just a buffer. That's right. It's just a GSGL buffer. Buffers 2 is the ID. Okay. Wait. That should buffer that data, bind it, read C. What's the command? It's the beacon render pass. Render pass ID is 0, so we're not binding a render pass. Action count should be 1 action, and it should be to clear the color, and it is. So we're setting the color bit, clearing the depth buffer bit, clearing the stencil. And then we clear. Okay. Opcodes bind pipeline. Pipeline ID is 1. And then we get the pipeline. So here's our pipeline for rendering all this stuff. Blend looks good. Source alpha, it's blend equation of add, 1 minus source alpha. That's all right. We default, default depth, default stencil, which means it'll be disabled. Default face calling, which means it's disabled. The primitive type is going to be triangles by default, and then we have our shader, which is 1. Index buffer element size is 4. That makes sense. Disable that. Disable that. Blend set. Disable face calling. Perfect. Doesn't matter because we're not face calling. We use our shader. Okay. Set the viewport to 0, 0, 800, 600. Bind our bindings. We have 3. Type is a vertex buffer. Man. VBO, should be 1, array buffer, bind that. Next is an index buffer. Index buffer, and we cache the IBO because we need to. Do we cache the VBO? No, we don't gotta cache the VBO. Doesn't matter. So we cache that so that we know that there's an index buffer bound. Uniform buffer 64, and that's because it's a mat4. We have a pipeline bound, so that's good. Grab the pipeline. The reason we do that is because we have to look for the uniform location and store that if it's not existent, which it wasn't here. Or I guess it was here. Well, that's interesting. Well, that's interesting. Why would that be? Location 0, which I think that's correct. Bind bindings. Should just be 1. Should be a sampler. Sampler slot ID. Text slot ID. It's a texture. The binding is 0 by default. Okay. Uniform. The location is invalid, so that should search for it. This is interesting. What's UN32 max? The U location equals and UN location doesn't equal UN32 max minus 1. Actually, that should be U location, grab uniform location. Hold on. That doesn't make any sense. This is the first time I've done it. Come into here. I actually bind uniform buffer, right? Okay. Location's invalid. All right, so here we're actually grabbing the location. Okay. All right, cool. That's because if I come back to here, if I set this back, all right. All right, give me 1 second. Okay. Let's see. You have another instance of the program running? No, I don't think so. No. Oh, amazing. Okie dokie. Man, this all looks good. I don't know what. I don't know what's going on. Going on with it. Hmm. All right. View scissors, whatever. The viewport's good. I'm just trying to draw this data, which this should be fine. So, what you doing? Well, I'll tell you what. Let's pull this out. Bind our bindings. Shit. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I got a buddy that's blowing me up on Discord. We're talking stocks right now. Our company's getting artificially pumped, and we're enjoying it. All right, I'm not going to do this. So let's do this. Here, I'll let me cut the sound out because that's just going to be confusing. There we go. What's up, Saeed? All right, let's just. Okay, I need to get a fucking red quad on the screen. That's all I need. That's all I want. That's all I want from you. So that should be good. This should be good. Nuclear, yeah. So I'm trying to port over an example for Gunslinger. And as always, you know, there's always small things here and there that just are a pain in the ass to work with. VUI. Cool. Post a link, I'll check it out. If it's any good, then maybe I'll make an example for it. Do you have the nuclear node editor in there? I mean, I could. This is an example. So you know, in Nuclear, he has all of his demos that show you how to set up with different backends or whatever else. So this is basically what I'm doing here is I'm porting one of those backends to work with Gunslinger, and then just having a, you know, simple whatever example here. So you could throw once I have the backend set up, you could throw the node editor example in here and it'd work. So you could use that. The idea for this is to give you an example to use a fairly common and popular C immediate GUI library with Gunslinger as its backend, right? Because it's a core framework that handles all the platform layer and all that stuff for you. So that you could write nuclear code using Gunslinger. That's the idea. So if you wanted to do a shader graph with it, cool, go for it. Wow. Okay. But I'm running into issues with this. I'm not sure what. I think there's something with the pipeline or something like that that's just messing up Saeed. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. So I've kind of not reverted, but okay, cool. Yeah, send it on Discord. Do that, and I'll put it in the resources section in Discord, and then other people can check it out if they want. Just tag my name to it. That way I won't lose it. Well, damn, man, this is all good. V2, V2, U8, U8-4. VData, VData. iData, render pass. So I'm setting up my render pass, setting up my viewport, doing all my bindings, which is correct. That's the correct order. And then I'm drawing, and then I'm not doing any of this stuff, and then I'm ending the render pass. I mean, this couldn't be simpler, and yet I'm missing something here. I'll tell you what it is. I'm setting up this I know what it is. I'm setting up this projection matrix. And yet for this, you're not even gonna see this. Like if, tell you what, if I set the projection matrix to an identity, then maybe I'd see it. Okay, there it is. So that means that the math is correct. Everything's getting set up correctly. The pipeline's getting set up correctly. The math is correct. All right. Okay, so this is good. And actually, if I go up here and get rid of this, well, let's see, maybe I can throw in a scale. So ln4, cool. M equals gs mat4 mul. Let's this with a scale. And let's just do 100. Yeah, so there it is. So it's in the top left corner. And if I translate it, let's say, do I have my, translate. Okay, so there's that. Again, I could boost this to larger. Okay, so the math is working. The math is correct. So I don't have to do this. The buffer, the index data is getting set up correctly, right? Because each frame I'm going through and okay. So that's all gravy. So that means the vertex data is not being filled out correctly. If I set this instead, does that work? It should, I mean, shouldn't matter. Huh? It does matter because there's not enough data. That's why. So hold on. There's something there. That's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. Set the bindings. Set the view scissor. Draw. Hey, okay. And now, holy shit. Okay, now if I set this up correctly to where we actually use the texture instead of that. Ah, there we go. Gorgeous. Jeez. Making money. All right. Cool. So now let's go into here and let's turn this shit on. Gorgeous. Now there's a couple of issues. One, I'm not feeding in updates from the input into this just yet. so it ain't gonna fly. So I'm gonna have to grab that real quick, set that up, but our rendering is working. Thank Jeebus. Shouldn't I have... Huh. It's interesting. Man, I need a better way to keep these updated. Damn. Include CD into GS. What's my status on this? What have I changed? Up to date. Oh, it's the platform implementation. Wait, no. Damn it. I didn't. Oh, Jesus. I need to change this. This is getting out of hand. All right, I should be able to resize the window now. Okay, I can. All right, cool. This looks good. Okay. What else? All right, so the mouse callback, character callback, scroll callback. I'm not doing those, but what I do need to do is, I mean, unless I set up callbacks. Okay. Hold on. Thanks. All right. Yeah, of course. Anytime. Let's see. Mouse grabbing. I'm not doing that. Get rid of this. So this is at the beginning of the frame, and I do this in the update. That means that close my Sublime text to watch yours. Cool. Welcome. I set the new frame, and this is after I've done input stuff. So that should be working. Get cursor position is this. Let me go ahead and print this out. I'm not exactly sure where I need to have this stuff. Input motion, which I'm guessing, I guess that sets it inside the context. No, it's not. Mouse position. Okay, so that's not getting what I want. Well, okay, button, mouse button pressed. So let me see if I can mouse left button pressed. Let's just see, because that's going to pump this into Nuclear. Oh, I think I saw it. Yeah, so I am getting that. Okay, cool. Get cursor position. Mouse dot previous dot x. Okay. Let's see, GSNK mouse grabbing, which I think I want. Pretty certain that's what he does in, let's look at this again. Demo. Mouse grabbing. Oh, that's not where that goes. Oh, it's right here. Okay. Set cursor position. Input.mouse position.x equals the previous. Okay. I don't know. I don't know why I'm not getting mouse information though. I should be getting that. So let me look at this shouldn't be working, so, or should be working. MP platform mouse position V. All right, let's give me that. All right, so I've got some interactivity here. I just don't have mouse dragging enabled. So it looks like I can't drag. So let's define this. And I'll go ahead and put this in the actual defines, the implementation maybe. Okay, that's good. That means that that's getting defined, and where is that? Yeah, down here. So mouse grabbing, bloody. Set cursor position. Like the buttons are getting pressed, but for some reason, like, is there not like a mouse held? Like, what the hell? God. Maybe that's why there's a distinction between what he considers. I mean, that was different. All right, so the mouse position is good now. Buttons are pressing. So we can do like, here, let me stop this. That means that this was incorrect. Let me actually go into the platform, mouse position. Mouse position. Which, yeah, this should be, yeah, because you can be negative, so these should be ints. Yes. Of course, 335. What? Double to int32. Alright, go fuck yourself. Oh, I think for this, though, it wants an int. Lord. Okay. That's good. Getting some garbage there. Okay. Alright, cool. The only thing now is I'm getting some garbage with some of the index stuff. I'm wondering why. Also, why is this giving me different results? What? Oh, man. I think it's because it's cached results versus like grabbing it directly. This is good. Yeah, that just grabs it directly from the GS input. So why would this be any different than this? Warning variable. What? Oh, who cares? Dude, that's strange. But if I do this, it's fine. Again, I'm getting garbage in there, but you call nk input button with an empty x and y. Do I? Do I? Yeah, I'm reading it now. Why isn't he reading? Sorry. Let me see. You called vector mouse position function, then you didn't change x and y in the nk input calls. Am I using it here? I am. You're right. Thank you. Okay, so that's why that's not working. So if I change that, that should be fine. So if I grab this now, so do the way that I was doing it before, right? Where I grab x and y. So that means it's being used down here. Thanks, Simon. I appreciate it. Good catch. got rendered. I think I caught everything. I'm still getting a weird... It's probably something with... So this is all working now, right? So I can select this thing. I'm getting some visual artifacts now, though. If you double click on that, it doesn't. Yeah, okay. So there's some definite visual artifacts with the rendering. Let's see. I'm using UN32 here. I don't think it's doing a UN16, but we'll see just in case. Right, it's not. It's a UN32. But I'm getting garbage here. So I gotta figure that out. The rendering here is not correct. It's doing fine there. Okay. So we're getting... Yeah, it's working okay. Yeah, it's weird. I think there's something with probably just indexing the data. There's some weird junk in there. I'll figure it out. Actually, let's make it simpler. There's a lot going into here, so if we just do like a simple, if we just do the button. Actually, let's just do the window, right? So let's just do a window. Okay. I'm still getting that jank. So what could be causing that? Let me look at, what time is it? 10:40, okay. If I don't define this, it still let me interact with the window? It does. So I don't even know what that mouse grabbing does. I'll keep it here just in case. I don't know what it does. I'm gonna have to look at that more. So the input's working okay. This is all good. That's all good. Okay, before when you use the mouse position getter the return to vector, then you passed X and Y. You should have passed in, yeah, I got that. Yeah, I read your stuff up above, Simon. Thank you. Yeah, I fixed it. Yeah, so that's working now. I've reverted back to just doing the X and Y just because they're there, but I saw what you were talking about, so I appreciate it. Sorry I didn't look at the chat when I was figuring that out. Get rid of that. Actually, I need to set that there just in case I want to remind myself to do that. Yeah, there's something going on with the vertices and the indices. Get rid of this mess. And then for this, I should just be able to pass in, because it should be mapping this data directly. Right? Yeah. Okay. What if I don't do the view scissor? Maybe there's something wrong with that. No. Okay, good. Good. So I don't think this is doing anything. So offset should be right. So we should be able to do, let's say, 0 to 120. That should give me something. I think that's just the window, right? Oh, that's like the entire thing. Okay. So then there's... Oh, interesting. So if I do 0 to 120, I get that. What's the other? 0, 120. 120 to 120 plus 93. Yeah, I think there might be like something going on with the blending. Maybe that's what it is. There's like a blending issue. Do you guys see what I'm doing though? I'm just looking at the different commands and then seeing where, because each of the commands, it has a start position in the vertex buffer and index buffer, and then an amount to iterate through. Like elements to draw, right? So I'm just picking like a subsection of that and just rendering it. And the two that are available right now when that thing is fully expanded is 0 to 120, and then 120 to 120 plus 93, which is 213, right? So 0 to 120. So this is what I should be getting. Right? That's what it should look like. But there's something weird going on with... So I just got to figure out what's weird. I don't think it's the bindings. So the offset should be, yeah, plus equals the command lm count. It didn't really matter. So why? Oh, Jesus Christ, that's why. So when I was doing this, I was just doing the, well, no, that's correct. Wait. Am I doing it? Geez, I think, I think I know what's going on. So GS graphics draw. I think I do a start. No, I do start an account. So why? Start count. I think I'm treating this as an end, not as a count. I think that's the problem. GS OpenGL op draw. Start count. That doesn't make sense. Mode, count, type, indices. So it's a void pointer to the start. The count to do, but for some reason, this works. So if I do offset and then I do offset plus the command count, that works. Am I missing something here? What the fuck? That didn't make any sense. Yeah, that's only if there's an IBO. So if there's an IBO bound, it looks for that, and then it does the draw elements command. If not, then it draws the it does a draw array command. But that's correct. Nope, that's not correct. Never mind. Shit. Oh boy. I don't know what's going on with that, honestly. Let me stop dumping that. Because I think that was just drawing. Man, that's weird. I had this issue with Nuclear. Do you remember what you did? Like, I'm not sure what's going on with this. Like, I'm wondering if maybe it's a clip issue. Let me see what this does. No. And like, what's this? This is garbage. You don't remember? Huh. Let me look at his example again. Maybe there's something retarded I'm doing. Studio Nuclear. Let's look at the render. Draw elements. Yeah, so the command count, type, and then the pointer, which is the offset. It's the same thing. Write your own GUI. Man, I didn't want to do it. Like, I've already done that before. It just takes so much time. Could be a memory issue, probably. Someone asked something up here. How long have you been working on Gunslinger? This current iteration, a little over a month. The library itself has been around for about a year. They're using unsigned short. Here he's using unsigned short. But that's because that's what it defines it as default. But I did have, where is it? Damn it, NK include. So here I use a uint draw index. because I don't want to use just an unsigned short. I could get rid of this. Then I would have to go into the element buffer size, and I have to change this to a uint 16. And that should give me, yeah. And that's different. That's correct. I mean, maybe there's something just weird in, I don't know. Because this, now at least this isn't messing up, right? Oh, hold on. Yeah, but he's doing uint 32 data underneath. I'm not even dealing with the indices. Maybe I'll keep it at a short. I mean, at least that looks correct. Yeah, there's something weird going on in his back end. Just annoying. It's not correct though. There's still like, there's border issues going on, right? Isn't there like shouldn't the border be all the way around, not just here? What does it look like if I do the rest of it now? Yeah, that's beyond fucked. Golly. So now it's not rendering any of that. Which I don't think I'm doing anything. I've set that to be a uint 32 or a U16. Actually, this pointer, this might be incorrect because I'm doing this offset like this, and this should be strolling through uint 16, right? Maybe that's why. Nope. Sure isn't. Let me do this. Okay. But I'm still getting some garbage there. It looks better. This is correct. This has to be correct. I mean, I'm not acknowledging that not being correct. That has to be correct. Make sure that I have. One thing that he does do is, have you tried politely asking the computer? That's a good point. I have not. I'm just demanding things of it. I haven't even requested consent. Let's see. New frame, set font, body. Shit. Uh-oh. Let's see. Nuclear uses quite a bit of memory for a small UI library. Yeah. Well, so does Gui. Gui's not very cheap. Man. So this all looks fine. There is one thing. So this offset, he does this draw index offset. So let me use that instead. That might be the main diff. And the offset he uses the pointer. So offset plus equals, here it's fine, draw, shit. That's gonna get me. I think I have a void pointer to int. Or do I do int to void pointer? Yeah, I do int to void pointer. Shit. I think it's null, so it's pointing to whatever. So let me actually do this. Set this to 0. I still think it's still gonna crash because I'm dereferencing void. Christ. I mean, shouldn't this point to... Like, how does this work? How does... Man. Short synopsis, what's going wrong? Well, let me set this back to I'm trying to figure out the draw offsets for this stuff. Man, that's fascinating. So even this is wrong. Why would that be wrong? Let me change this back to a U32. Like no, not U. Lord. Man, I don't like the way he does that. That actually pisses me off, the way he does that. Because it just... Plus equals element count. The offset's null, so draw elements, GL size I. Unshort offset, which is a void pointer. Because he does an int to void pointer, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. There's probably something with the way that I'm doing my draw elements in the back, because I think it's pointing to something weird. Size I is offset. That's an offset into... What am I doing weird? What am I doing here? Let me go ahead and not do this. Let me just print the offset. Okay, so these are different. I think that's probably an issue. So when I'm doing this, let's make this a size T offset instead. This is probably completely wrong, but actually, let's keep that. And then when I'm I can't dereference this. I was going to complain. That's a warning. There we go. All right, there it is. So that was the issue. Shit. Oh man, my stock's going back up. Shit. Okay. So for those of you who have followed that painful experience, the issue was yeah, it was a memory issue. It was a stride issue, right? So it was going from 64-bit size T, trying to do like a 32-bit iteration instead. Now, what I do need to do, I'm still getting this warning, so I need to actually encapsulate this, but I can't dereference it. So I just need to cast it. That should be fine. There we go. Holy hell. Okay, cool. All right, so let's stop blasting that. Let's just change this to that. Draw the elements, increment the elements. Let's get rid of all this. Get rid of all this. I will need to do these things. Text edit paste, get clipboard strings. I'm gonna have to actually add that into the platform layer. I don't have that, but that will be useful. So I'll add that. Let's get rid of all this. Don't need this. This. Same here. So for this, it's Okay. And then for this, it's set up buffers, load vertices. Man, that was a pain, but cool. That's working now. Go through and okay. Sweet. So now we have Nuclear Gui working. It looks pretty good too. I don't think it looks too bad. Awesome. Fantastic. Let's see some of the other examples. So he's got there's a node editor. Oh, geez. What all does this require? Okay. It looks like I can just copy this node editor .c file. Is there a main function in here? No? What uses this? Static void calculator. Let's just grab this. You guys can't see this, but whatever. Okay. Oh. All right. So just copied and pasted all that. Let's just see if this should compile. I don't think it should be a problem. Okay. And now if we call calculator with the context, it should render our calculator. There we go. Can I move it? No, it's not a movable window. That's okay. So 62 plus 32 equals, cool. Actually, I don't have any text capability. So, which that doesn't seem right. Dynamic, edit string. Okay, edit string. Okay. So I think I might call it here. I'll stick around for questions. You guys have any? But we got it working. Oh, you can grab it. Okay, cool. All right. Good. Cool. Still some text stuff I got to figure out. Figure out some text input. And then I'll play around with this some. I don't think Nuclear has any docking capabilities, right? Saeed, you said you've used it before. I don't know if you've used it. Simon, anyone know of any good resources for learning profiling? Actually, no, I don't know any off the top of my head. Cool. Yeah, finally got it working. You can do layouts. Okay. So you could set like a dock window or something and then do, I don't know about docking. Yeah, I don't think he has anything about docking. I don't know if I'm going to go so far as to do anything like that. I might. Maybe I'll add that in. Oh, all right. Cool. Well, I'm going to head out. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, join the Discord, do all that stuff. Share the videos and all that kind of stuff. And I'll see y'all later. All right. Peace.